Hey guys, this is Chris and welcome to your Business Bud. On this video, I'm going to share with you the 4th Millionaire Productivity Secret. And be sure to watch till the end because I'm going to be sharing 4 simple tips that will help you eliminate distractions that are sabotaging your productivity every time. And if this is your first time on this channel and you're interested in tips and strategies on how to make more money online, I'm going to be making weekly videos that I believe will help you do that. So consider subscribing to this channel and hit that bell icon because together we can. On my last video, I shared with you the 3rd Millionaire Productivity Secret, and that is prioritize important and urgent. In addition to that, I also shared the laser targeting system that when you implement, it'll help you reach your goals the soonest possible time. You want to make sure to link everything to your goals. Knowing what your goals are, link everything that you do, focusing on what is important, and that's what creates peak productivity. You cannot be productive without goals and without linking all your actions to your goals. You'll know exactly what you're working on. You'll have clarity on why you're working on them. You categorize it and filter it out. This will make it very clear and easy for you to know what to focus on in a given time. If you haven't seen that video, just click the notification on your upper right, and I'll also leave the links of Millionaire Productivity Secrets 1 to 3 on the description below, so make sure to check them out. And now, Millionaire Productivity Secret number 4, remove distractions. We live in a world where there are no shortage of distractions, from technologies that can access everything and everyone to the endless sources of entertainment around us. Our modern life is full of distractions capable of hindering your productivity every single day. If you want to achieve your goals as soon as possible so you can enjoy the rewards while you still can, it is important to remove these distractions the best you can. Here are 4 tips that you can do to remove today's top distractions. Tip number 1. Plan your tomorrow before you sleep. Create a schedule of the important things you need to do. When you plan out each day the night before, you will begin to see distractions and how it can greatly impact your productivity by keeping you from sticking to your scheduled important tasks. Each night before you call it a day, take time to plan out the important and urgent things you want to accomplish the next day and the schedule you want to stick to. You may want to write it down on your planner, your journal, or in a document on your computer, whichever works best for you. These are the urgent and important tasks, or not urgent but important things you want to get done, plus the breaks or relaxation time you would like to put in between. When you work, say, for a full hour, give yourself a 15-minute break. This is the time you want to go to the bathroom, get a drink or a snack, or do some stretchings. As human beings, we are actually not designed to work long hours. You probably notice it. Let's say you're in front of your computer working 2, 3, 4 hours straight, non-stop. Have you noticed how you lose focus and your productivity level started to go down? You feel it, right? We are not designed to work 4 to 5 hours with no breaks. You know you're not being that productive after a few hours, right? We lose focus, we are not as sharp and as clear, and that is when we are susceptible to distractions. So, work intensely for 45 minutes to 1 hour, then break. Then do another 1 hour, then give yourself a 15-minute break again. This is how I would recommend to schedule your time. If you're able to plan your day the night before, you'll be much more likely to stick to that plan and avoid distractions that could derail it. Tip number 2, go to your cave. What I mean by this is go offline. The internet and all that it provides access to is by far the number one distraction that we have today. And the main tool that gives us this access is our mobile phones. You may want to detach from the online world at least for a few hours in a week when you can, or whatever you're working on allows you to. This is for you to concentrate on your thinking time or doing the important task you need to finish. I have a friend who locks himself in his room for several hours or for an entire day whenever he wants to come up with good business ideas or marketing plans. My spiritual and life mentor goes to a hotel for 3 days or a week, bringing a ton of books with him as he prepares for a talk or when he's writing a book. While many of us work online and we cannot totally able to avoid the internet, we can, however, control our smartphones. I know it's smart, but we cannot allow it to outsmart us when it comes to distracting us from our important tasks. This also applies to your emails. Do you know what your inbox really mean? I got this from my seafood Dan Locke. He said that our inbox mostly are equivalent to other people's agenda. When you think about it, it's actually true. You wake up in the morning, one of the first things you're gonna check while you're still in bed is your emails on your phone. Yes? But before doing that, you didn't feel overwhelmed. You probably have few important things to do, then suddenly you're bombarded with so many things trying to gain access to your attention and time. So you gotta take control on that. We've been conditioned to respond to things, especially our phones, and connected to it, our emails. Sometimes even in the middle of something like we are eating or taking a shower, the phone rings and we immediately stop what we're doing and take the call. You have absolutely no legal or moral obligation to answer the phone unless you want to. Go offline. Set your smartphone aside while you work and only check it occasionally during your breaks. A phone buzzing with calls and notification is going to be a big distraction that is so difficult to ignore. So when I realized that, I always set my phone aside. I turn off all notification and I told my family, my wife, my kids, my parents, and everyone in my family to only call me during business hours if it's important or emergency, because their calls are the only ones I would take, except of course for scheduled business-related calls. This may sound a little odd, but other than that, I almost never answer calls. You need to protect your time from this. But what if your business or profession requires you to take calls, like if you're a real estate agent? That call could mean a client for you, right? So how do you solve that problem? Two things. First, if you're already earning well, get an assistant. The assistant will screen the calls to make sure you're only going to be talking to hot leads. And second, this is especially if you cannot afford to get an assistant yet, what you can do is set expectation in the beginning when you take the call. Let's say you receive a call inquiring about the listing that you have and would like to know more about the house and the location. You can say, "Hey, thanks for the inquiry, but I'm just on my way to an appointment. I only have about 5 minutes to talk, and it looks like you need more time than that, right? And I'd like to probably sit down with you so I can answer all of your questions and probably show you to the inside of the house. So why don't we book a time to discuss this in person?" When people are calling you, set the agenda. Just tell them, "I have 10 minutes. Would that be enough?" What happens is, when you tell that to people, they can shorten their conversation a lot. But when you're like, "Oh, hey man, how's it going? What's up?" the conversation will just go on, and it will be a little difficult for you to stop because you've set a different face in the beginning. Set expectation up front. I got 5 minutes, I've got 10 minutes, I've got this much time. Then people know and they'll respect your time. If you don't value your time, nobody else will. Also, going offline during your time off can be extremely beneficial as well. Take time to disconnect from the internet and from your phone and truly enjoy the world and people around you. This is a good way to teach the younger generation or your kids that there are so much more to see than just focusing on their gadgets and internet. Tip number 3, the 5 a.m. habit. A lot of successful people I follow start their day early. They know that the early morning hours are some of the most valuable hours of the entire day. Not only are you going to be much more pumped up and motivated when you first start the day, you can also be extremely focused during this time because distractions tend to pile up more and more as the day goes by. This is the great time to tackle the projects that requires most focus out of you. If you're able to get started in a calm, peaceful hour of early morning before most people start their day and before most distracting things have begun, that is the best time to work on those big projects. The more you make use of the distraction-free hour of the early morning, the more productive you will be all day long. And finally, tip number 4, organize your workspace. Clutter and distractions are a team. It goes hand in hand. Every piece of clutter on your workspace is an individual source of distraction, and taking it as a whole, clutter can even be more distracting than its individual parts. It is just so difficult to stay focused and concentrate when you're surrounded by mess and chaotic workspace. Clutter also forces you to take time to search for the things you need, which in turn gives you a window to be sidetracked from what you need to be focusing on a given time. So take time to organize your workspace and living space, and when you're done, you will realize that you now have a space which is far better and easier for you to concentrate with and focus than it was before. And before we wrap up, I'd like to leave you with a thought that Brian Tracy once said. There are no shortcuts. To be a big success, start a little earlier, work a little harder, and stay a little later. Now I'd like to hear from you. So my question for you is this. What is distracting you from your success that I wasn't able to cover here? Leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to follow up with you or address that in my next video. And if you enjoyed this video and feel it's valuable, kindly give it a little thumbs up and share it to your friends. I'll share more valuable stuff to you on my next videos, so make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you'll know when it's ready. Until then, thank you for watching, and I see you on the next video. Bye for now.